Good morning, everyone. It is 8:41 a.m. Central Standard Time. As usual, my name is Chris Silora, founder of Simple Rainco Trading. Just want to take a look at BLX here and show you guys. Here's a weekly chart, and just to kind of show you how I get this overlay. This is the logarithmic regression overlay that I found in the actually public library of indicators and strategies up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up BLX up here. BLX, it's the brave new coin. It's an index of the crypto market. We're going to change it to weekly. We're going to change our chart to log down here in the bottom right. And we're going to go here. I have it saved, but logarithmic right there. And it's this logarithmic regression weekly. It's made by this Memo Taika 9009. So props to that person for making this overlay. I'm not a mathematician. I can't go into the math behind this, but I can tell you how to use it. Technical analysis is my expertise. Mathematics is not my expertise. So I'll stick to what I'm good at. So here we are. We are looking at the Brave New Coin Index. This is a log chart, remember, so it's a little bit different. And as you can see, you guys, right now we are still trading in this upper high risk band. So you can see, according to this overlay at least, and the math behind it, every time we have come into this upper high risk band, we have subsequently had a pretty nice sell-off. If we go back in time, at least the last two here, you can see we've come into that upper high risk band and we have sold off. Conversely, when we've come down into the blue and the green areas like here, and then we cut into it pretty deep here, we've seen some pretty significant buying. So I just wanted to start real quick. A lot of people are feeling really good, and I'm not here to, absolutely not here to poo-poo anybody's bull party, but just wanted to say, hey, on the higher time frame charts, which are pretty much the ones that govern the longer term price movement, we're still in this upper high risk band. So don't get overly optimistic. Get excited because there's still a pretty nice, at least a short term bull run going on here. But don't get overly excited for these buy and hold opportunities and new all time highs. Don't get really excited about that until we get down here. I do think, you guys, that there's some decent opportunity here coming up for the bulls. I think there could be some nice bullish positions that we can put on, but in my estimation, we are not in buy and hold um, territory just yet. Okay, anything can happen, but it's just less likely for Bitcoin to push up to make new all-time highs from here. In my estimation, at least just according to this, we've got to kind of cool off a little bit more to find some really significant buyers. But I can be wrong because who am I? I'm just a guy looking at charts and speculating just as you are. So that's my 2 cents there. So take a look at Bitcoin. Just jump into our Bitcoin analysis. And if you guys are wondering, why is this guy just looking at Bitcoin all the time? I'm looking at Bitcoin because, as you guys can see, the market is so highly correlated to Bitcoin. So really, if you can tell where Bitcoin is going, you can say with a pretty good degree of confidence where the rest of the market's going to go. Look, Bitcoin is up in everything. I mean, I don't have every currency on here, but pretty much everything is up. Okay, so for me, being somebody who publishes videos, I want to cover all these bases all at one time. I'll publish, a couple opportunities here and there on things that I'm looking at. As long as I have the time to do that too. But for me, it's great because if I can just publish on Bitcoin and give you guys a pretty good understanding of the market as a whole. So that's why I'm doing a lot of publishing on Bitcoin, in case anybody was wondering. I will post ideas on Ethereum and some of the other altcoins if they're there. And I've actually got a couple that I'm looking at, so I might post some of those later on today if time allows. So um, that's that. Here's Bitcoin. We've reset our charts to log. We've taken our logarithmic regression out here. Let's see what we're looking at here on Bitcoin. Let's reset this one here. Reset this one. Okay, we'll just kind of start our analysis here on the 4-hour Renko chart. As you guys can see here, this is encouraging. Okay, a lot of pretty decent bullish momentum coming in here. We've got now almost 1.25 little projection bars. If the next 4 hours closes where it is right now, we'll at least get that 1 bar, so that's good. Bulls are definitely making a push up to test this to retrace up here. Okay, in the realm of, I'd say, anywhere from 38 to 40, possibly even 42 up here. So bulls are making a pretty nice push. So there is some reason to get excited in the near term. I'm not going to try to poo-poo that at all. That's just what the chart's telling us. And then down the 1 hour chart, as you can see, yep, bulls are making that push. Okay, we've got right here, this was the higher low. The lower low was not made, so kind of saw this push kind of coming since we weren't able to push lower. So anyway, just another picture that the bulls are definitely pushing up into this realm here. Okay, we'll see what they got. Actually, we'll see what the bears got now. See if they want to push it back down. So they're kind of, that's the battlefield. They're just kind of taking turns. So, all right, let's go down into the candles now. On the candles, I want to get in the Wayback Machine and just kind of show you guys some pretty interesting price action. So on Friday, going into the weekend, I was looking at this area here. And since we had a pretty nasty sell-off on Friday, I think we were down at like 9% at one point. We had a pretty nasty sell-off from this region here, right where our McGinley average was sitting. Oddly, look at that. We had a pretty nice sell-off right from here. I took a stab at a trade. It was a losing trade, 1% of my account, whatever. Licked my wounds and jumped back in, whatever. But anyway, this was the area that I was looking at for sellers. Now here's what has transpired since then. Oh, excuse me. Technical difficulties. Anyway, all right. So here's what's transpired since then. Okay, we've got this candle. We were not able to make that lower low. Okay, and then right here on Saturday, no, this was Sunday, we were sitting in this zone and price was just right at this McGinley. So right now I know the market's already in an area where I expect some sellers. The market's sitting right at, it closes right at the McGinley, pretty much right there, that orange McGinley average. I'll open this up so you can see. Sitting right there, so no surprise, we get, now on Monday, we get a red candle, okay? But now, since then, you guys, we have, today, we're making a pretty nice push through this first level where I expected to find some sellers. And isn't it funny? I mean, this day still has about, we've got a little less than 12 hours to go here to close this day, but so far looking so good. And you can see right across the street from where we had those sellers, now we've got some pretty significant buyers stepping in. So keeping my eyes now on this area as an area to possibly buy into this, move up. Now, that's not to say that the bulls still have some work to do. Okay, I'm looking at this zone here. Okay, as you can see right here, price kind of for this day here. What was this day? This was the 17th. Price kind of stuttered here on the 17th, and then on the 18th we came, crashing out. So there should be some sellers up here around the 38 region. So we've got that as our next region. But if we're feeling good about the bulls winning out, here's how we can play this. We can actually, we'll have to see as the days go by, we'll actually kind of see what price does in here. Okay, wait for our correction and jump in possibly here to see if we'll get a push out of the range from these bulls. So that's kind of what how I'm looking at playing these two areas. Okay, we're waiting for, just kind of waiting for the bulls to push it into this nearest area where I expect some sellers, expecting those sellers to drive the price down a little bit, and then engaging this zone down here. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But obviously, we need the bulls to push it up into this area, possibly even higher, um, and then wait for that correction down in here, and then dive in. Okay. Now I will only take a long position down here if I also have confirmation with my indicators. Excuse me, I'll get these. If my indicators are still giving me that go once we get back down. Okay, so when we get back down here, I'm going to be looking at the MFI to make sure it's fairly oversold, so roughly around where it is, possibly even lower. And I'm also going to be looking at this Chaikin money flow here to still be above the zero line, the positive line. Okay, that's the only time I'm going to really take a stab at joining these bulls for the next run up. So that's this is the market right now, you guys. Right here, this is the market. We've got, again, this day still needs to close, okay, but we've definitely got some buyers that stepped in here around 34.5, call it. You can even go all the way down to 34. I assume that we're probably gonna close with a pretty decent green candle today. Okay, so we've got some buyers down here. We've still got some sellers up here though. Okay, guys, let's not write them off too quickly. We don't know what kind of pressure is waiting up there, but bulls are definitely taking their turn. Looks like we're at least putting in a short-term bottom here on the day-to-day price action. So that's what I'm seeing, you guys. If this is helpful, if you enjoy this, if you want to learn more, if you want to just go ahead and support me, I don't need your support, but I want your support. I want you to say, hey, this is cool. This is valuable. So here you go. Head over to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/simplerenko trading. Really appreciate any support that you would be willing to offer there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.